In this video, I want to talk about getting rid of financial demons. Now, this is not some magic potion video where you say some words in a specific order and before you know it, out of the blue, cash keeps flowing. That's not what this video is about. This video is to show you the root of financial curses. A financial curse isn't just poverty. A financial curse is any context that keeps you trapped and makes you inflexible. That's a financial curse. So someone can earn a high salary, but to keep that high salary, they need to work 30 hours a week. And because of that, they're tired at the end of the week. So they do have a lot of cash on their bank account, but they're not free to use it. So it's a financial curse. Even though there's a high cash flow, the high cash flow comes with a restriction that's toxic. Namely, he has almost no free time. So that over there is a financial curse. Or it can be that let's say you won the lottery, for example, and you won €1,000,000. And now you have €1,000,000 on your bank account. And you begin to spend the €1,000,000 to invest into all of that. And before you know it, you have all those scam artists who come after you who want to scam you. And you have people that are planning to rob you. So now you become the center of negative attention. And because you are the center of negative attention, everyone around you is also in danger because they're associated with you. So now friends will stop coming by, your marriage may fall apart. You still want to have a normal job just because you don't want to spend all of the 1 million, but many employers don't want to hire you because employers know that if they hire you, that their other employees may become envious and jealous and there will be trouble at the workplace. So employers don't dare to hire you because your presence and the fact that you have this leverage may cause trouble over there. So what happened now? You won the lottery, but at the winning of the lottery was a trap because many bad consequences came along with it. So a financial curse is any context that keeps you trapped and drained, no matter if the cash flow is high or low. So now you understand what the real definition is of a financial curse. Now you will see that many out there are accursed when it comes to finances. Many people think just because the cash flow is high, that means you're fine. No. A high cash flow does not automatically mean you are safe. Often in the world, the higher the cash flow, the more dangers come along with it. So that is why there are children that grew up in rich families. When the time comes, they start their own business or they do their own thing so they won't have to take any inheritance from their relatives. And then other people think, what? You are from that family that owns millions and millions of euros? You're from that family and you can inherit like 5 million euros and you prefer not to take the inheritance? Are you out of your mind? People from the outside would think, what? You're out of your mind. You can get 5 million euros for free and you decline it. But here's the thing. That individual that refused the inheritance, he knows it's not for free. He or she, but I'm using he now, he knows that with that inheritance of a few million, there's going to come much tension, much unresolved conflict, so they will inherit many psychic conflicts. And all those psychic conflicts that come along with that inheritance will haunt them and their descendants. And he grew up with much of those psychic conflicts. So he knows what he's talking about. But he knows that outsiders will only see the high cash flow and think, you know what, the higher the cash flow, the better. So he knows that others will not understand it. So he will come up with an excuse saying, you know what, I want to be a social justice warrior, I'm a communist. They will come with all types of excuses just so they don't have to explain why they are refusing inheritance. Now, if you inherit a home that has been purchased with a mortgage and there's still debt on it, okay, then people can understand you refuse it because there may be debt on it. But if it's millions of euros that you can inherit, but you refuse it, people are going to think, what's going on here? But it happens that people refuse big inheritances because they see what comes along with it. Because there's one thing you need to understand in this world. Nobody gets rich the honest way. Everyone that became rich in this world messed around with paranormal forces. Everyone who became rich in this world, they mess around with the paranormal. None in this world, nobody became rich by their own strength. That's nonsense. Nobody's able to become rich by their own strength. If that was possible, most people would be rich by now. Those that became rich in this world, they sided with demons that charmed whatever they were doing, and because of that, they now benefited at the expense of the majority. That's how they did it. There are some rich people who are righteous, and they got their riches by overcoming trials and tribulations. So you have righteous rich people out there, but they are few. Because the righteous rich don't keep all the rich to themselves. They invest in other believers, so that believers as a collective are wealthy. So if your wealth is not the result of righteousness, that means that that wealth is extended relief provided by demons. And if it's extended relief provided by demons, it means that you can't use it freely. That means that that wealth has curses attached to it. And anyone that gets involved or in touch with that wealth will suffer those afflictions. So that's why our understanding of how we relate to money needs to change. We shouldn't think anymore the higher the cash flow, the better off you are. No. There are many people out there with a high cash flow, and they see you living in your rented flat, and they think, oh man, I wish I was such like that guy over there. He has a delay in his studies, so he's a student, he's studying, but he lives in his own flat. He has to pay like 500 euros a month. And now, if you would find out about this, that there's this guy with millions looking at you and feeling sad that he's not like you, you would think, what? Is that millionaire out of his mind? Why would he want to be like me? I'm fed up with this. I want a higher cash flow, and this guy wants to be like me. It is because of the following. You have lack of knowledge. You don't look at the bigger picture. That individual is dependent on demons to remain wealthy. And because they are dependent on demons, they have to do things to keep the negativity going. So they can't be too positive with what they do with their money, because or else the charm will not work. So they have to invest in some type of negativity to keep the wealth around them. So they have to compromise their human values. They need to compromise their mental sanity by supporting things that they really don't want to support, because or if they don't do it, the charm won't work and anyone can rob them and they're not safe anymore. So they're stuck in negativity. They're stuck with dangerous people and they're stuck with anxiety, despite the high cash flow. And then they see you're healthy, you're at ease, and you live in a small flat. They would love to exchange with you. They would love to tell you that what they have is not all that it appears to be. But often I'm saying we because most people have, often we don't want to hear that. Now let me tell you one thing, believers. You can walk in riches and wealth in the here and now to glorify Christ. Just realize that you will have to become invisible at times. That's why I tell you to always decree invisibility on you so that evildoers and bad people can't see you. Because here's the thing. As long as they can't see you, they can't detect you, and they can't target you, and they can't attack you. The pagan rich in this world, they don't have this cover of invisibility. So they need to hide themselves with fake names, or they need to hide themselves in closed-off communities. So they're on the run. Despite the high cash flow, they are on the run every day. You, as a believer in anointing of Christ, you can decree invisibility and nobody even sees you. You need to do this. Just understand that financial curses come in many sizes and shapes. Just because someone gets money easily in a legal way does not mean that that money is clean. You can have a salesman that sells many products, So he earns a lot of money legally. He's not selling drugs. He's not um, ex- he's not doing extortion. He's not doing any of that. He's not a scam artist. He's a salesman. He sells a lot. But here's the thing: the things he is selling are products from other companies, and those other companies may be involved in devil worship. He is not. He's just the middleman. And as a middleman, he makes a lot of money. Nobody can blame him because he does it legally. But here's the thing: when people are disappointed in the product, who should it be angry at? It should be angry at the company that produced the thing. Because it's the company that produced the thing that scammed them. But what happens often? They now turn to the salesman. They blame the salesman instead of the one they should blame, the company. So the company has a demonic charm that hinders the rage of their disappointed customers, but the salesman does not. The salesman only has a charm to sell a lot. So he sells a lot. So here's the thing: when disappointment comes, he's a target. So he does earn a lot of money legally, but it's not clean. He's not safe. So it's a financial curse. We must stop praising financially accursed people. That's what celebrity worship is all about. Celebrity worship is praising financially accursed people. Some of you now, you are financially blessed, but you think you are accursed. Let me explain. You may need to pay a bill very soon, but you don't know how to pay it. And you're praying about it. You check if there are jobs out there that you can do. So you are in movements to work the solution, but you think, come on now, Lord. I've been praying, I'm moving, what's going on? Here's what's going on. You are at peace. While you were praying, behind the scenes, things were moving around, and sooner or later, you will hear that you don't have to pay the bill yet. You have to get an extension. Or maybe a few days before you have to pay the bill, you will have someone that comes by and hands you some money just to support you, and now you can pay the bill. Or I don't know how it may work out. Maybe it works out differently with you. Maybe with you, the debt or whatever you have to pay just disappears. I don't know. Okay? But one way or the other, things work out. So you never are worried. You're just active, but you're never worried. Well, you may have someone that's born in a family with money, with a lot of money, but they need to watch out where they spend their money because there are people out of the family. They can only go to certain places, and even the places where they go, there are people that aren't really friends with them. But they have to put up with them because it's not safe for them just to hang out with everyone. So there are people of your age out there who are under toxic restrictions every day because of the high cash flow of their families or the people they're associated with. And then you have you. You never have any worries whatsoever because every time there's financial need, it's met one way or the other, and nobody dares to violate you to get cash out of you. This tends to happen in the world. When people claim you owe them something, they think they have a right to violate you or to victimize you. With you, nobody dares to do it. So you are covered against violence. So no matter how big the financial need is, it cannot harm you because somebody can come close to you to harm you. So you are financially blessed. You just don't realize it. So it's time for you to realize how financially blessed you are. Well, that's it for now. Keep agreeing with Christ and be at peace.